Yeah, what's up, everybody? Dan here, and this is For Your Mental Health, a podcast where we talk about mental health issues that affect everyone around the world. So thank you so much for checking it out. This is episode 21, where we talk about a new year, a new you. How do we do it? A lot of people are excited for the new year, excited to make a change in their lives, but how do we get there? What do we do to get it done? Well, let's talk about that right now. There's 5 steps I've laid out to get your energies in the right space to propel your life into a greater, grander possibility. So let's talk about those steps. Number 1, I'm talking about identify what needs to be changed. So the first step of any problem is to identify that it exists. And in this case, it's no different. If you feel like you are there already, if you've already identified what needs to be changed, great. Then you're well on your way to getting to a new you in 2022. But if you're not there yet, if you still need to identify what it is, well, you might need to do a little introspection. That could involve just sitting down and writing out how you feel about your life and why you feel that way and what you think could make things better. It could also involve talking to a therapist, or just doing research online, seeing what other people's stories are, and kind of going from there. For me, I was in a very depressed, anxious state a couple of years ago. I was in a dark place, and I wanted to get myself out of it. I wanted to find what would make me feel happy, what would make me feel fulfilled and not so depressed and anxious all the time, and make a life worth living. So for me, it was professional wrestling school. So I researched where is professional wrestling school in my area, and it kind of went from there. If you want to be something different, if you want to be, a dancer, electrician, an accountant, a painter, whatever it is, you certainly can start following those passions now and see where they lead. Number 2, explore your area and see what's being offered. So, obviously, if you live in a bigger city, there's a lot more options available to you. If you don't, it's going to be a little more limited for sure. But see what's around you. If you're not willing to move right now, see what's going on around you and see what you can kind of join in on. If you need something a bit more social. For me, wrestling school was a kind of more of a social thing. I didn't want to be in my room all the time. I didn't want to be cooped up inside and not be able to make friends and make social connections and have these long-lasting memories. I didn't want to hide myself from the world. Now, granted, obviously there are issues happening in the world today as far as the pandemic goes that make it a little more challenging. But if you're able to go and feel safe about being in public spaces, that's great. See what's out there, see what's being offered, and see what you can get in on, and meet new people, because that always helps as well. Number 3 is to talk to people that you trust and see what their advice would be. So, that would be like friends and family, a counselor, a teacher, therapist, someone that, you talk to somewhat regularly that knows you very well, that could probably give you advice on what you need to do next. Because sometimes it is difficult to see yourself from the third person perspective. But that's what people in your life are for. Encourage you to give you advice to maybe see where you're struggling and be like, well, I think you'd benefit from going to sewing classes or swimming classes or joining up some social group, something like that. But, definitely talk to people you trust and see where that advice leads. You don't have to follow everyone's advice, but, if anything hits, if everything you hear feels right, go for it and see where it takes you for sure. Number 4, emerge out of your comfort zone with confidence. So it's an easy thing to do to say, yeah, it's, new year, new me, 2022, let's go. It's easy to say that. But how do you keep that momentum? How do you keep that confidence throughout the entire journey? Because what's likely going to happen is, there's going to be missteps. There's going to be times when you falter, and you got to be able to pick yourself back up. And how do you do that? How are you able to succeed even though there's roadblocks and speed bumps and things along the way that will alter your journey in a negative way? Find that confidence within you, and know that it's something that's part of the journey. Ultimately, growth is fostered by falling on your face sometimes and looking like a fool in front of a lot of people that you don't know. That's part of it. That's getting out of your comfort zone and emerging with this new sort of sense of whatever. I don't care. I'm just going to do it. This is something for me, and I don't care what people think. I'm just going to go and make myself a happier person and have a happier life because I deserve that, because that's what I want for me. That's hugely important in going forward and moving out of your comfort zone into a new zone of life. And finally, we have number 5, which might be the most important thing in my book, and that's understanding how brave you are for just wanting to do this for yourself in the first place. We talked about having confidence going forward, and one of the things that gives me confidence going forward in my journey of professional wrestling school is knowing that I've done a really brave thing to want to make my life better than it was before, to not be stuck in the doldrums of depression, anxiety, and self-harm thoughts. I don't have to be there if I don't really want to. I can find something that gives me purpose, that gives me hope, that fulfills me, that makes me feel like a much happier person because I'm going towards something that gives me a lot of joy. And once you find that thing that gives you a lot of joy, you really lean into it, you really dive into it and get so much from your everyday life because you're now content because you're doing something you really love. And the bravery of going for that, despite all the roadblocks, despite all the obstacles in your way, I think is a motivating force for me and hopefully for anybody who wants to make a big change this year for a new you in 2022. Go you, go me, let's go. Let's make this the best year ever. All right, there you have it. That's episode number 21 of the For Your Mental Health podcast. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Hopefully you'll be able to use some of these lessons in your own life, and let me know how it goes. Let me know what your new you looks like in 2022, and share it in the comments, and we can talk about our own success stories and overcoming obstacles, because ultimately that's what life's all about. So thank you so much for watching, for listening on the iTunes and Spotify podcasts. Really appreciate it. You can like, share, subscribe. Helps me out a ton. So thank you so much. I really appreciate all the support throughout this time. And thanks so much for watching. And as always, follow your instincts. And LYF, love yourself first. Mwah. See you guys later. Peace out for now. Cha-cha-cha.